Dozens of landmark Chicago buildings in miniature, and they're all dressed up for the holidays. The buildings are made up of plant materials like acorns and bamboo. And running through it all is a fleet of model trains. It is the Wonderland Express at the Chicago Botanic Garden. All aboard now with our own architecture tour guide, Geoffrey Baer.
Chicago's official motto is Urbs in Horto. That's Latin for city in a garden. But I don't think the person who coined that phrase way back in 1837 had something quite this literal in mind. If you love trains, if you love plants, if you love Chicago, it's all here for you. Me, I love the architecture. Here's the downtown loop. All right, that's a freight train going over the Michigan Avenue Bridge, but otherwise, most of the details are pretty accurate. Wait till you see this. It's Millennium Park. Curls of tree bark represent the swooping steel of the Millennium Park band shell, and the steel trellis is rendered in twigs. And yes, the bean is here too. It's made out of gourds. Here's the museum campus. There's the Adler Planetarium. This is the Shed Aquarium with a gourd for a dome, and I think that's an acorn cap. And somewhere around here is the Field Museum. Is it snowing in here? Actually, it is. Two machines in the ceiling create a snow-like substance from water and vegetable oil. There are some 60 Chicago landmarks here, along with icons like the Art Institute Lions wearing wreaths for the holidays, the Michael Jordan sculpture at the United Center made from unopened pine cones and an acorn, and even Mrs. O'Leary's cow. The cars on the Navy Pier Ferris wheel are walnut hulls topped with acorn caps. The footrests are pistachio nuts. The man who turned 12 tons of cedar and a plethora of other plant materials into a $300,000 railroad wonderland is a Kentucky-based landscape architect and garden railroad designer named Paul Bussey.
His imagination is spectacular. He's a real artist at it, and he makes the trains disappear and appear so that it looks like they've been gone for a while. You know, you just don't watch a train run around a circle like you do with the old Lionel.
Paul was responsible for putting in all of the trains and the track and the features of the architectural features of the garden. But the Botanic Garden horticulturalist chose all of the plant materials. So we have the miniature pomegranates and all of the dwarf species and heavily pruned species that go into making the right scale of plants for the trains.
Now, what about the fact that this is all living plant material that the trains are running through? Does that present challenges?
Yes, it does. We have to prune those. We have right-of-way on the tracks from the horticulture people. We can't touch anything else. If it's touching the trains, we can nip it, but we can't touch anything else.
It's understandable that the horticulturalists would be a little possessive of their plants. They've been growing and training some of them for a year in preparation for this exhibit. It takes 6 hours every day to water, check, and groom all the plants. Now let's follow the railroad to other Chicago area attractions outside the loop. Here we are on the south side. There's Rockefeller Chapel at the University of Chicago and some Bridgeport bungalows. Don't look for Mayor Daley, he doesn't live there anymore. Even the South Shore Cultural Center. And look at this, the flags are made of leaves. What else do we have here? Here's Frank Lloyd Wright's Roby House, and wait a second, what's Northwestern University in Evanston doing here on the south side? With so many sites and so many trains, it takes a small army of paid staff and dozens of volunteers to keep this railroad running.
I have an engineer and usually 2 to 3 assistant engineers that are working in here with us on each shift. 3 people here will have a radio control so that we can stop these trains anytime we have to, anywhere we have to.
So somebody needs to be watching all the time.
All the time. The minute you take your eyes off of these rascals, they like to leave the tracks. And when we have an accident, oh boy, you get a crowd in a minute.
Oh, they love it.
Love the accidents, yeah.
The exhibition you see inside is really only one part of what the Chicago Botanic Garden is offering. We have 750,000 lights that are strung outside on our trees. We begin the stringing process in October. We also have 14 decorated Christmas trees and 3 warm educational greenhouses that are decorated for the season.
It's a thing for kids of all ages. It's just like the circus, and they just love it. And the expressions on their faces are fantastic.
For Chicago Tonight, I'm Geoffrey Baer.